Trish has a problem. She needs to get to Sarah's house so that they can work on their geometry project. Trish needs to know how far Sarah's house is from her own. Luckily, Trish knows her geometry. To find the distance between Trish's and Sarah's houses, we must first find the equations of the roads they live on. To do this, we must use the equation y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is where the line crosses the y-axis, called the y-intercept. We are now going to find the whole equation of both lines, starting with the slope. To find the slope, we will be using the slope formula rise over run, aka y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. First, we'll find the slope of Trish's road. We have 2 minus 3 over 2 minus 4, which will give us negative 1 over negative 2, or 1/2. Next, we'll do this for Sarah's road. We have 0 minus 1 over 3 minus 5, which will give us negative 1 over negative 2, or 1/2. Since both of these roads have the same slope, they are parallel to each other, meaning they will never intersect. Now, to find the full equations of the roads, we need to find the y-intercept, aka b. We are going to find the y-intercept for Trish's road. To find the y-intercept, we will plug in the coordinates of Trish's house for x and y, and we'll also plug in the slope. Now, we'll solve for b. The y-intercept for Trish's road is 1, making the equation of her road y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Now, to find the full equation of Sarah's road, we're going to find the y-intercept. Like when we found the equation of Trish's road, we must plug in the coordinates of Sarah's house for the x and y, and then plug in the slope. So your equation is 0 equals 1/2 times 3 plus b. When you solve for b, you get negative 1.5 equals b. Therefore, the equation for Sarah's road is y equals 1/2 x minus 1.5. To find the distance between these two parallel lines, you need to find a line that is perpendicular to one of the roads and connects to a point on the other road. Since the slopes are the same, the lines will be perpendicular to both of the roads. To find the equation of this perpendicular line, we first need its slope. The slope of a perpendicular line is the opposite reciprocal of the line it intersects. In this case, the slope of the original roads are 1/2. To get its opposite reciprocal, you take its negative and invert the numerator and denominator, making the new slope negative 2 over 1, or just plain negative 2. Next, we need to find the y-intercept of our perpendicular line. Again, we must plug in x and y coordinates into the equation. Since Trish is trying to get to Sarah's house, we will use the coordinates of Sarah's house. When we plug that in, our new equation is 1 equals negative 2 times 5 plus b. When you solve for b, you get 11. That means the equation of our perpendicular line is y equals negative 2x plus 11. This is a diagram of our perpendicular line. Now, we will actually find the distance between Trish and Sarah's roads. To do this, we must use the distance formula, which is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. When we plug in the coordinates of Trish's and Sarah's house into the formula, we get the square root of 5 minus 4 squared plus 1 minus 3 squared. When you solve the formula, you get root 5. Trish now knows that her house is exactly root 5 units away from Sarah's house. They can now work on their project.